So a guy who gets overlooked and is constantly underrated, underappreciated in the pantheon of great Vikings quarterbacks. It's a very short list, right? Daunte Culpepper. Daunte friggin' Culpepper, right? And also, young fans, like, they don't even know. Like, they don't even remember. Like, where Daunte from in the aughts, in the early aughts, was the absolute peak fun. Randy Moss's cannon, just like chucking it 11 to 84 every single damn day. That's right. It was very formative in my formative years, and he was great. He was amazing. And he just doesn't get the time of day from the fan base. Everyone talks about, small hand smells like cabbage. Oh, he had fumbling issues. No, he didn't. No, his fumbling rates were actually lower than average in the NFL if you go look them up. If you're troubled to go look them up. But, I mean, he was plagued by bad ownership, bad coaching. They got rid of Randy Moss. His running back was Michael Bennett. Great, cool, grand, wonderful. But there's just so many things that worked against Daunte. And, of course, the injury. But, man, for a hot second, he was just like a comet shooting across the night sky. We're just like, oh, that was amazing. We won't see that again for a while. But, yeah, so let's get into it. So Daunte Culpepper. I distinctly remember he was the second guy that I remember doing a lot of draft work on and just being like, hey, I hope that guy's going to be on my team. First off was Randy Moss in 98, right? Him coming into that draft, coming out of Marshall, all like the Grainy Zapruder film of him hurdling dudes in 1AA, eventually moving up to 1A, all that stuff. So Daunte Culpepper, Central Florida, 6'4", 260, just like this. This is before like the internet really took off. This is before 24/7 media. This is before social media. So like Daunte Culpepper, you heard there's this dude who's a quarterback. He's got a rocket for an arm. He's the size of a 3-4 defensive and just an absolute awesome just terror. Like down in Orlando, just tearing up teams left and right, and it was great. And I remember seeing just like grainy highlight footage of him against Auburn and just like, wow, man, good old number 8 Central Florida. I want him on the Minnesota Vikings. I do. Like, I love Randall Cunningham to death, but also he's old. He's old as hell. We do need a quarterback of the future, and the Vikings pulled through. All right, so remember, Daunte was drafted in 99, so the draft after the 98 season and the disappointment. So even though the Vikings, their first-round pick was towards the back end of the pack, I mean, they traded Brad Johnson to Washington. Brad Johnson for a first, second, and third. How crazy is that? You know who Washington's head coach was at the time? Norv. He's like, I gots to get me some of that Brad Johnson. Here's a 1, 2, 3. All right, so the Vikings had Washington's number 1 overall pick, number 11 overall, and then they picked Daunte Culpepper, quarterback, Central Florida. Get your roll on, baby. Let's go. It was great. All right, so sat behind, Randall Cunningham as well as Jeff George for a year. Didn't work out in 99. 2000, those are when the Vikings went 11-5, staying alive, made the NFC title game, 40-win donut, but whatever. Daunte, first year as a starter, second year in the league. A lot like Patrick Mahomes. It's weird. 33 touchdowns and was just out there dropping bombs. Just completely dropping bombs like the Enola Gay to Randy Moss. And it was great. And even though the Vikings got spanked in the NFC title game by the Giants, they don't care. It's like, the Vikings have this amazing young nucleus, right? So you have Denny Green looking over Daunte Culpepper and Randy Moss. They have a lot of young, fun pieces on this team. And then not so much. 2001, Denny gets fired. Daunte has an injury. Like Spurgeon Wynn starts a couple of games here. Mike Tice comes in, and okay, sure, whatever. So now Mike Tice, who was a good coach, but I think was in over his head, trying to lead Daunte, then trying to install the Randy ratio offense, and Dante's like, okay, whatever. But he pulled through. 2004, Daunte should have been league MVP. He should have been. Second team All-Pro, 4,717 yards passing, 39 touchdowns, 11 picks, a 110.9 quarterback rating. Also ran for 406 yards and 2 touchdowns. He made the Vikings tick that year. They still went 8-8. And remember, that was the season that ended with that's a disgusting act from Randy Moss. And that was it, right? So 2005, you trade away the best receiver in all of football, the best receiver in NFL history. Daunte Culpepper's forte is the deep ball, so you trade away that for Troy Williamson. So right away, So Daunte's lost Denny Green. He's lost Randy Moss. He's got replaced by Troy Williamson. His offensive line is starting to be bad. His running back is Michael Bennett. And you're just like, okay, great. Cool. And then Daunte's knee just absolutely becomes an inferno. Gets destroyed in Carolina by Chris Gamble. Thanks for that, by the way. So it completely derailed the season. It completely derailed that team. And that was it. Like that was it for Mike Tice. He gone. 2006, Brad Childress comes in and with his triangle of authority and is like, no. Well, Daunte, with the knee and all that stuff, want a fresh start, all that things. So we're gonna trade you to Miami for a second round pick. Yeah, Nick Saban decides to go with Daunte and give up draft capital as opposed to signing Drew Brees. I don't know. Well, Drew Brees is in a little bit of hot water right now, but whatever. But then Daunte, that knee doesn't get time to heal. He starts 4 games for the Dolphins. Doesn't work out that season. It's not great, right? By the way, the Vikings, in their infinite wisdom, all right, so they drafted T-Jack in the second round to be the quarterback of the future. Respect, RIP. But also, with the pick they specifically got from the Dolphins, that second rounder, number 51 overall, they picked Ryan Cook. Ryan Cook, the center from New Mexico, which is just dandy. Great. Cool. But like we said, Daunte spent that 1 year in Miami. Didn't work out. Saban left, even though I'm not taking the Alabama job. Just getting deuces. Then went to Oakland. That was a mess. Then went to the 2008 Lions. Daunte did not deserve to be on the winless Lions. I will just say that much. And then also, after the NFL, he joined up with the UFL. Denny Green coaching the Sacramento Mountain Lions. Let's go. Let's get things going. But, man, it's an absolute shame of what was around Daunte Culpepper, both coaching-wise after they got rid of Denny. Also, ownership with McCombs was an absolute train wreck. Brad Childress just ceremoniously, flicking him out of the way. He's like, yeah, fair. As well as the bad luck with the injury. It was the deal with Vikings quarterbacks and bad luck with knee injuries. Just completely catastrophic, multiple ligament injuries. That's what I want to know. Yeah, but, of course, Daunte, when he was at his peak, he was just absolutely amazing. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And just because it was for such a short period of time, I think people forget it. People forget that 2004 was the best season ever for a Minnesota Vikings quarterback. It was Daunte Culpepper. Yeah, 16 years ago. Still no respect for number 11. Yes, the Love Boat. Yeah, Yeah. The Vikings have the Love Boat, but it's perfectly fine for a Major League Baseball relief pitcher to go golfing on his off days, but the Vikings just blowing off some steam on the bye week. Okay, sure, but Daunte had the size, had the arm, had the running ability, was a leader in the locker room. All the team loved him. Is just, what could have been. What could have been if he's surrounded by actually good talent, actually smart people, coaching and executive-wise and ownership, and also that knee didn't blow up. Yeah, but respect Daunte Culpepper. Go look up some highlights. Do that up. Get your roll on. All right, so that's it. Your thoughts on our thoughts on Daunte Culpepper, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.